awake?
I don't know.
Are you awake now?
I think so.
Do you want to do an episode of the Moderately Interesting podcast?
Yes.
Okay. Because there's a lot of stuff to talk about.
Like what?
Did you see the new Funko figures that got leaked?
Yes.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. We could talk about that. James Gunn is at it again, and he's talking about some stuff that we could talk about. And did you see the new Star Wars anime show, Star Wars Visions?
Yeah.
So we could talk about all that stuff and more. But you gotta wake up first.
Okay, I'm awake.
You're awake?
Play the theme song.
Done. All right, you're awake now, Mitch? You're 100% awake?
I'm awake, yep.
Okay, that's good, because it's like 5 p.m. What are you doing?
It's actually like 9 p.m. where I am.
Okay, well, we can't go based off of that, no, can we?
Not everything's based on Pacific time.
I mean, it should be, though. I definitely feel like I've lived in other time zones, and I definitely feel like Pacific was the better, superior platform.
I like the one in Hawaii.
What's that one? I don't even know what that one is, but
I don't know, but
I like that one too.
That one's my favorite.
They're like, it's like what, 1 p.m. over there or something?
Yeah, it's probably at least 1. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good place to be. Any time of the year.
Is it crazy that it's almost 9 p.m. for you, but in Hawaii it's 2:50?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Like they still have their whole day ahead of them.
The wife and I have talked about moving to Hawaii.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What part?
I don't know.
I think you should do it.
It's like one of those dream conversations.
Yeah.
That's like, we could probably pull it off if we wanted to. But is it the right thing to do?
I mean, like, you can always move back at the end of the day, but you can't do that once you have, like, kids and...
Yeah. It gets expensive.
Stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. So, like, treat yourself. You could do it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
For sure. I mean, right. I don't know what language they speak in Hawaii, and I don't know what kind of money they use. I don't know who is the ruler of Hawaii. I don't know, what kind of freedoms they have over there.
I'll be the ruler.
Oh, my gosh.
It's part of the 50 states, right?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. You're joking with me, right?
Since 2005.
Oh my gosh, how did I miss that?
I'm just kidding. It's been like 70 years.
Oh man.
Wait, really? You think Hawaii is another country?
No.
Okay. You had me worried there.
Oh my gosh. No. But Alaska's definitely a made-up place, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, every picture I see of Alaska is, you can tell it's CGI.
Yeah, and I definitely failed a kid one time when I was substitute teaching because he thought there was a New Mexico.
No, I was like, there's only the old Mexico.
What an idiot. There's Mexico, you dumbass. Get out of here.
There's no New York.
Yeah, there's only York.
Yeah, it's in England.
Yeah.
The Empire State Building doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Those are all just
Hollywood illusions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but fun trivia question for you.
Okay.
New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know where Old Zealand is?
Middle Earth?
No.
Okay.
Not Middle Earth, unfortunately.
Well, that's my answer.
Zealand, as it's called, is actually a province in the Kingdom of the Netherlands.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where they came from?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And then they were like, this is New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously that became... I mean, I don't know how they pronounce it with the New Zealand accent, but then obviously... New Zealand. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fun story.
That is a fun story.
It's moderately interesting, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And to you listeners at home, you learned something today. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. You
We also
came.
filled your brains with a bunch of filth and
Mm-hmm.
lies. So you have to choose which one of those is real and which one of
Yeah.
those is fake.
Yeah. Take the red pill or the blue pill.
Is Hawaii part of the United States, or is New Zealand? Does Old Zealand come from
The Kingdom of
the
the Netherlands.
Netherlands?
Yeah. You'll never know.
Do your own research, people.
Unless you do a Google search.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Mitch, we got some breaking news.
What?
Breaking news.
What's the breaking news?
It turns out the rumors were true, Mitch. It was all true, all of it.
Donkey Kong 64 is coming to the Switch?
Not Donkey Kong 65 is real. It's the sequel to Donkey Kong 64 everybody wanted. Comically,
What rumors?
the new Nintendo Switch. It's
Oh.
real. It's real. It's all true, except for it wasn't all true. In fact, most of it that we were heard and told was not true at all. So this is it's less of a Switch Pro and more of like a Switch refresh.
Okay. Or maybe
Okay.
like a restock.
No, because it is different. There is like some benefits to getting this.
Okay. And it's called the OLED, or what did they say?
Yeah, it's got
OLED?
OLED, yeah. OLED! OLED. No, yeah, OLED, which is the type of screen that it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So OLED screens look freaking phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Because they got they do like the contrast really good. They make the darks like really dark.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically like, yeah, if you can get like an OLED screen and then you can put like an HDR movie on it, ooh, dude, chef kiss, old meme right there, but still legit. So with the OLED screen, these games, even though they're going to be running at the same resolution on to go, it's going to be, or portably, I should say, it's still going to look really good. You're going to definitely notice a benefit to it.
Okay.
I want to see real quick if there was anything else that I missed when I read it earlier this morning. So
is the resolution the main difference?
So it's not even a resolution increase. It's still in 720p. It's a larger screen now. It's going to be a 7-inch 720p OLED.
Okay.
And so, yeah, the OLED is like really the big point right there.
Mm-hmm.
We are getting a new... we're getting 64 gigs of built-in storage, which is double when we had the 32 gigs.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to have improved audio for handheld and tabletop. It looks like it's going to have like a new jack for plugging in headphones. But Nintendo has confirmed that there will be no major internal changes to the CPU or memory.
Okay.
So it does not have a new CPU or more RAM, which I thought for sure they were going to throw more RAM in there.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't. That's kind of a bummer. But it's going to be using the newer battery that the newer OLEDs or the OLEDs newer switches came with.
Okay.
So you can expect if you're rocking the original Switch like I am, I got mine. Humble brag right here, but I got mine the day it came out. Then yeah, you can expect a slight upgrade in battery performance out of the Switch.
Okay. I liked the color of the one that they advertised.
Yeah, I like the new one. Like it's like white and black. It looks very PS5, kind of like how like PS5 looks with this white and black, but it also looks like very like Apple-y. Like it looks almost like an Apple product.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
But the new Switch, blah 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 blah. There's like something with the new dock too that like I can't seem to see.
The new dock has drink holders.
Oh, sweet. You know what's funny about that joke that you just made right there
mm-hmm.
is the original Nintendo it had a lot of reliability issues, and like it would break a lot. And back in the day, Nintendo was kind of a bunch of jerks,
Hmm.
and so like they refused to admit that that their like product was just like not made very well and it would break,
Right.
and they'd be like, no, 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 it's not broken. Like, it didn't break. It's because these dumb Americans, they put their sodas on their Nintendos and they spill. And then, like, that's why it doesn't work because the pins get all sticky and you can't read the cartridge anymore.
Right.
And yeah, it's just really funny. So, like, it's just really funny that you're like, yeah, it's a drink holder. It's like,
It's a drink holder.
it's like, oh, they still have that beef about Americans putting their sodas on their products.
It also has a
Um,
Skittles dispenser.
that'd be cool, actually.
Hmm. It's basically Inspector Gadget's car.
That would be interesting. I'd be okay with that.
Hmm.
Now the question is that I'm sure all of our listeners are gonna have. When does it come out, and how much is it gonna be? It's coming out October 8th, and it's gonna retail for $350.
All right. That ain't
And
bad.
not bad, but I'm a little worried about the price. I'm a little worried about it.
Too high?
I think it's a little too high, and I
I
think
I don't think it is. Well, I I I don't know. I do think it is, but I don't think it is.
so. Let me just explain my view, and then you can explain your view real quick.
Okay.
So my main problem, not problem, my main concern is that is the same price, or I think it might even be a little more expensive than the Xbox Series S,
Hmm.
the new generation Xbox, but not the top tier one.
Right.
So I'm worried that people are going to see that, and kind of like what happened with the Wii U, actually, is they're going to look at that, and then they're going to look at the Xbox, and they're going to go, well, I can get this, and I'm definitely getting a new gen console.
Right.
Whereas with this isn't gonna get the Call of Duties. This isn't gonna get the Assassin's Creeds. This is going to get, I don't know what this is gonna get, but it's gonna not get the things that my friends play.
Right.
Like, and that was like a major concern. Like, that was not a concern. That was a problem for the Wii U.
Hmm.
Was that for the Wii U? I think the Wii U was the same price, $350,
Hmm.
and it was like for $50 more, you could have gotten an Xbox One.
Right.
And like people are just like, yeah, I'll spend $50 more and I'll get the real next gen console.
Hmm.
So that's my little worry. But then again, the Switch has been selling incredibly well, so maybe people will just be like, yeah, it's worth it. But
Right.
you go ahead. I want to hear your opinion now.
Well, that was kind of what I was thinking. I didn't really compare it with Xbox or PlayStation with their next gen consoles because I just think that Nintendo, I think I've said this before, it's just in a different world of its own. It's not really, it doesn't really need to compete with Xbox and PlayStation from my point of view. I know there's things that, some differences that are there that are kind of like Nintendo might do better if they focused on this, or this. But at the same time, I think that Nintendo is set up as more of like a family friendly console.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, go play Mario Kart with your children. You know what I mean? Like a
Right.
lot of families have the Switch, and it is selling phenomenally right now.
Yeah, it
Like
is. It
it's hard to
definitely
find
is.
them.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to find a lot of stuff right now. I'm just a little worried that 350 is just a little too much, you know.
Yeah.
And like there is a point where you're like, yeah, I'm not willing to spend that. And like for me, like for a Wii U for the long time, I think the Wii U was $300. It might have been, and I was like, I'm just not willing to spend $300. If it was $250, I'd be willing to like pull the trigger on that. And like I think that might be like the breaking point for a lot of people where they're just like 350 is too much, 300, okay, fine. Like, but we'll see.
Yeah. All right. So my question about the new Nintendo Switch: how
Yes.
likely are you to purchase it?
I think I am pretty likely to get it.
Okay.
But I'm also a self-confessed Nintendo fanboy.
Right.
Slash, I have had my Switch since the first day it came out, so it's pretty old now.
Hmm.
It's been around a bit, survived some encounters. So I think 2021 is a good year since
Right.
2017 to retire that guy and get a new one.
Cool.
So I think it's probably the thing where like if you like got like an older one and so you don't have the new battery that like the newer models have,
Mhm.
then you might want to get it. Like that's a good reason to get it.
It
Or
also depends on how much you play it
yeah,
handheld.
yeah. And if you have like a Switch Lite maybe and you're like, oh well, like I got the Switch Lite because it was like super cheap, but it turns out I really like my Switch and the
Right.
ability to plug it into a TV is a nice, convenient way, a nice bonus that I now want, then,
Right.
that could be another way to get it.
Hmm.
What about you? I know you have a Switch, but I don't know how often you play your Switch.
Yeah, I don't play it a whole lot. So I don't think I'm gonna buy it, at least from the get-go. I also play it a lot on my TV. I don't really play it the handheld.
Right.
I did when I was still in college and
Mm-hmm.
had a bunch. It was during like the COVID-19, the beginning of that when everything was canceled
Mm-hmm.
and everything was on Zoom. And so I would get my Switch out, be present at the Zoom meetings, and
Uh-huh.
that's
I'm just be
that's
playing.
mostly when I used it for the handheld. So
Gotcha.
I usually don't.
Gotcha.
So the
Yeah.
battery isn't a big deal for me.
Yeah. I mean, I mostly play it on the TV, but I've taken this thing to amusement parks. I've taken it to um out of state. I've taken it to just about everywhere I've
Right.
gone pretty much, to Florida and back. So I mean I really like that aspect of the Switch, but yeah, I do primarily play it
Mhm.
on my TV. So yeah,
Cool.
I think for me it's just gonna be a purchase of like, yeah, I really like Nintendo stuff, so I'll probably
Yeah.
get it just because of that. But yeah.
Right. Yeah, I can see myself getting one if either the one I have breaks or there's a need.
Right.
So yeah. Yeah, let's move on to all this Marvel news that we've got.
Yeah, we've got a lot of Marvel news.
Mm-hmm.
The first one we're gonna start with is once again James Gunn is answering questions. This time it was on Twitter where somebody was talking about the old Marvel TV shows that were produced by Marvel Television, and James Gunn confirms that basically those previous Marvel shows are not canon.
Right. What do those what is included in that list?
The big ones are obviously Agents of Shield.
Okay, those ones.
Yeah, we've got Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist,
Mm-hmm.
Luke Cage. But then those other ones that I never watched, like Cloak and Dagger, The Runaways. I don't know if there's any other ones that I missed, but yeah, he's basically he just said there was never any coordination between the earlier TV stuff and the cinematic side of Marvel, like there is now, and they're all under purview Marvel.
Okay.
Marvel Studios. So, yeah, I mean, like, I don't think this is shocking at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But I think especially the last two seasons of Agents of Shield really showed that like they weren't canon anymore. I think they used to be canon, if that makes sense. I think they definitely made an effort for them to fit into the canon of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But then I think Agents of Shield was the show that really stopped trying to do that.
Right. Yeah, I definitely think that all of those shows were canon because they brought a lot of stuff from the Marvel universe
yeah,
into
exactly.
the shows.
Yeah. So I mean, like, you had Lady Sif in Agents of Shield. I mean, you had like that was like a big moment in that show where
Yeah.
that happened. Obviously Winter Soldier really changed just the first season of Agents of Shield.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think basically by the time Infinity War came out and the snap didn't happen in the show, I
Mhm.
think that's when the idea of these shows being canon kind of died.
Okay.
But obviously there are still things that we don't have answered yet now because of this. I think an example of that is and Loki, they didn't answer slash like they kind of avoided the question of Coulson being dead.
Mhm.
Because obviously if Agents of Shield isn't canon, that means Coulson did in fact die.
Right.
Uh and Loki didn't say exactly that he's dead, like, or they didn't like go so far as to say like, oh, he is dead. It just kind of went like moving subjects.
Yeah.
Um and the other one, of course, is that Charlie Cox Daredevil is supposedly rumored to be coming into No Way Home.
Mhm.
So does that mean that the Daredevil show isn't canon, but we're just still getting Charlie Cox?
Yeah.
How's that going to work out?
Yeah, that's where it starts to get confusing for me.
Yeah,
It's like
I feel you.
they use the same actors for the same characters, but they are not canon anymore.
Yeah, so we'll
Or
see what.
yeah, some of their backstory isn't.
Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. Yeah, it's possible that we don't like the Daredevil TV show on Netflix is not canon anymore, but we're gonna get either a new show maybe, or maybe we'll get a Daredevil movie.
Uh-huh.
Kind of like the weird one that like kind of this makes you think about is the Incredible Hulk.
Uh-huh.
Because that was obviously a reboot with it was Edward Norton, that was part of the MCU. And we had the earlier Hulk movie with Eric Bana,
Yeah.
Eric Bana, whatever. And even though the Incredible Hulk is not a sequel to the Hulk, they kind of treated the Incredible Hulk as a sequel to that movie,
Right.
because that movie is not an origin story of the Hulk.
Mhm.
So they just kind of like continued the story, even though it's a reboot. I don't know if they're still talking about that or not, but or like if they'll ever like comment about that again. But that was definitely like a thing that they were talking about way back in the day when they're like, yeah, it's like a sequel to the Hulk, but it's like a reboot. Like, so it's like both of these things. I don't know if they still feel the same way about it or not, but
Yeah.
they definitely called it that at one point. So I'm interested to see what they do with Daredevil, if indeed he is in No Way Home.
Mhm. That's one of the frustrating things for me about Hollywood is those, like all the stuff behind the scenes that you just have no idea what's happening. Like you get 3 different Bruce Banners,
Right.
and you have to kind of just accept it.
Right.
And like the Daredevil show is I think it's one of the best
Yeah,
that
definitely.
Marvel has made. Especially on like its budget. I don't think it had a high budget, and it was fantastic. The acting was incredible. The stories were incredible. And we just have to forget about that, but also accept that Charlie Cox is probably going to continue to be Daredevil. And it's like,
Right.
well, and none of the stuff that we've seen already is relevant anymore.
Yeah, this is probably a different topic that we can talk about, but with Daredevil not being canon anymore, I had this conversation not too long ago with my friend Kai about physical media versus digital media.
Uh-huh.
About like, buying movies, specifically about movies. Like, oh, do you buy movies? Do you just stream them? Do you rent them? Kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking about how like I for so long was holding on to like, no, I buy my movies physically. That's like one of the few things I buy physically still is movies. Like obviously music, you just stream music now. With TV shows now and Netflix and stuff like that. A lot of those you're just streaming. But I was like, I tried to maintain physical media for movies and TV shows, and and like the 2 examples that I used when I was talking to him was the Clone Wars show, the old 2D animated one,
mm-hmm.
and the Daredevil show.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we had this conversation, the Clone Wars show wasn't out yet on Disney Plus, And the only way you could watch that show, 6 months ago, was either you had the DVDs or you streamed them, you watched them off of YouTube because they had like somebody posted the whole series on YouTube. And I was like, yeah, I had the DVDs and I just plan on holding on to them forever.
Right.
And I still plan on doing that, even though they're on Disney Plus now.
Mm-hmm.
But another one that I think is interesting is going to be Daredevil, because obviously Netflix and Marvel had this falling out, and Netflix takes stuff off of their platform so often that I wonder, 3 years from now, 4 years from now, 5 years from now, however long, if they're just going to be like, okay, yeah, we're taking down all this Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
Because like basically this is now free advertisement for the Daredevil movie that's coming out or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
or the Daredevil show that's on Disney Plus, whatever.
Right.
So they're like, we're just going to take it off. And it's like, but Daredevil's really good. Like that is like, whether it's canon or not, it is a good show and deserves to be watched by, people 10 years from now who didn't get to watch it or whatever. Sure. So it's like, I guess I should go buy Daredevil on Blu-ray before that happens.
Yeah.
So it's just like a weird thing of like, yeah, I definitely, because Daredevil is good. And I just wonder if its days on Netflix are numbered. And if it is, do I need to go out and buy it before it becomes like this thing where it's like, oh yeah, like nobody bought it because it was on Netflix. And so since nobody bought it, they're not making it. And since they're not making it, it's now a collector's item because people want it.
Right.
I think that's a conversation. I mean, I'll leave it right there because this is like a different topic, but
yeah.
I think that's an interesting topic that we could talk about at some point.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I won't comment on that now, but yeah, we can definitely talk about that maybe next episode.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because today is last week today.
This is last week today, right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
At this moment.
Yeah. Scarlett Johansson, continuing with the Marvel news, has said that Black Widow, the film, is going to be the last time we see Natasha Romanoff in the MCU.
Okay.
So I guess this is it. Is this a farewell? Is this real? Is she lying to us? What do you think?
I think that it's real. I think that she went out in a good way, and I think we don't need to bring her back. Same with Robert Downey Jr. Although I could see him coming back in a different form. Her, it's like, and in a very lightly used role as well for Tony Stark. And her, it's like she doesn't really have that tech savvy manner of which she could come back. There's not really a logical or pleasing way to bring her back. I think that her sacrifice needs to be
it's got to mean something.
Yeah, it's got to mean something. She can't just be like, and she's back.
Right.
Thanks for, because they made it pretty clear in Endgame that she's not coming back even after the snap.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely a thing. I'm kind of surprised. I think just like I didn't expect her to come back to life or anything like that. But I am a little shocked at like the way she says it. Like, this is the last time you're going to see her. Because I definitely thought we were going to get like some kind of flashback with her in another property or something like that.
Right.
Especially, like it's very easy to like, in the next Avengers movie, find out that like in the 5 years between Infinity War and Endgame that like Natasha made like a like a recording of herself or something like that we would see. Just like little ways of like putting her back into it for like a minute.
Right.
So that's why I'm a little surprised where she's like, yeah, that's it. You're not going to see her anymore. Because I definitely thought there was going to be ways of putting her in there. So yeah, interesting stuff.
Too bad.
But we're
also,
gonna miss you. We're gonna miss you, Black Widow. But thank you for your sacrifice. We appreciate being back from the blip. Yeah,
I was gone. I don't know about
I
you.
was gone too. Yeah,
weird.
I was blipped. Yeah, my brother's now older than me.
That would be weird.
That would be weird, right?
Yeah. Speaking of the blip.
Just
kidding. Not speaking of the blip. Funko figures are apparently leaking.
Yeah, we got a lot.
Costumes, right?
Yeah. So we
Yeah.
we got a couple of Funko figures leaks. The big ones that made their way around was obviously the Spider-Man No Way Home ones, where we can see some of his new costumes.
Yeah.
It looks like there's one where like Doctor Strange is enhancing his costume.
Mhm.
So that looks really cool. Let me pull up the pictures right now. So yeah, the big one was that all black one.
Yes.
That one looks pretty awesome. It's like black and gold.
Hmm.
It looks like he's gonna do. Yeah, here's like the Doctor Strange one. That one looks cool. Another thing that I saw though was somebody pointed out that like the numbers that got leaked, because like Pop does like numbers for each of the figures.
Yeah.
And like some of the numbers are not in order, and there are numbers missing.
Right.
So obviously that's leading to speculation about an Andrew Garfield Funko figure, Tobey Maguire Funko figure,
Hmm.
and just other stuff that from the ones that are missing.
Right.
Are you into collecting Funko figures at all?
No,
Or
I'm
were
not.
you?
I've
got
never
one?
had one.
Never had one. Okay, I think I have 5.
Okay.
Which like when I say it like that, I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a lot actually. um, I have one Reinhardt from Overwatch.
Okay.
I have one, and that's a pretty big one actually.
Uh-huh.
I have one Lord Draken from Power Rangers.
Okay.
And then I have 3 different versions of Goku from Dragon Ball Z.
Nice.
I have Super Saiyan Goku. I have Super Saiyan Blue Goku. I have Super Saiyan Goku wearing his orange jacket from the Cell Saga, the filler part.
Uh-huh.
Oh wait, no, I have one more because I have Ultra Instinct Goku. So I have 4 Gokus.
You have 4 Gokus.
Yeah, Super Saiyan
Nice.
Goku, Super Saiyan Blue Goku, Super Saiyan Goku from the Cell arc.
I did have a Magneto. It was a keychain that I got. I bought the X-Men movies on
Oh, that's
Blu-ray.
cool.
My wife had never seen them, like the original 3
Oh, got you.
with Hugh Jackman. And I got a little keychain Magneto Funko Pop. I ended up giving it to somebody, but that's as close as I've been to them. They look like they're fun to collect, though. It's
Yeah, I wonder. I think they've definitely like died down. I feel like a couple years ago they were definitely more popular.
Right.
But yeah, it is. I just like was wondering right now if they ever made Amazing Spider-Man Funko Pops.
uh-huh.
Because I was like, yeah, that was definitely out when this was like a thing.
Uh-huh.
And like at least like the first one that I pulled up, there is an Amazing Spider-Man one, but it's going for $140.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. I was just like curious if that was like, because I was like, oh, that's funny how like they Funko probably did an Andrew Garfield one, which yeah they did, and then they did a Tom. Obviously they're doing Tom Holland now, so
Uh-huh.
like yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. Lego apparently did some reveals too.
Yeah, there's some
The
Lego leaks
costumes.
as well. Yeah, where you could see Doctor Strange, you saw Wong.
Long. Yeah.
Yeah, you see Peter, you see MJ.
Right.
But yeah, strangely absent is, or maybe because they're not in the movie at all, was Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. There was no other Spider-Man in that
Yeah.
one.
I think that they are trying to keep that as big of a secret
I
as
think
possible.
so. I think so as well.
I think it will be revealed in the trailer. I know I said I didn't think they were going to
Mhm.
reveal it in the trailer at first, but now that it's been delayed so long,
You think
or
they
I
are?
don't know if it's been delayed, but they've been waiting forever to give us the trailer. I think
Yeah.
that the trailer is going to come out either with the Black Widow movie
Okay.
or not till like Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I think it's not going to drop until September.
Yeah.
And that is another rumor that we have here is that No Way Home trailer likely not dropping soon.
Mhm.
Which I think means not with Black Widow, because I think that was when everybody kind of thought it was going to come out was for Black Widow.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah, and as
don't.
we get closer to that, because that's 3 days away, I don't think we're going to hit that.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe for Shang-Chi we'll get the get that trailer.
Yeah.
In other Spider-Man news too, we've got a couple different Spider-Man stuff. Hopefully we remember to play the Spider-Man recording. We've got Toby and Andrew are going to be co-leads
Yes.
with Tom Holland as soon as they're joining.
Cool.
Which I think makes a lot of sense. I don't think it's like, okay, that's a cool confirmation, but I don't think anybody didn't think that was going to be a thing.
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah. I want to say one thing about this.
Sure.
With Toby and Andrew joining, it's going to be really sad because they're not going to stick around. Like, this is probably just a one-time thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe they'll come back again if they're invited, but it's going to be kind of like bittersweet seeing them and then just knowing that somehow they're going to be going back to their universe and we won't see them again.
I think the fun thing that's going to be that we'll get is for both Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and for the Amazing Spider-Man. We didn't get closure on either of those series.
Yeah.
Because obviously Toby's, it was meant to go to like Spider-Man 5. Like they had ideas for Spider-Man 4 and Spider-Man 5.
Right.
And they were greenlit and everything. And then Sony pulled the rug. And then obviously with Andrew, Amazing Spider-Man 3 was totally in development at the time. And like, I think they were going to go to like Amazing Spider-Man 4 at least, and it was going to build the Sinister Six.
Yeah.
So for both series, we didn't get any closure. So I'm hoping we get closure for both of them in this one movie.
Yeah, I hope so too. Yeah. It looks like a little romance is stirred up.
Yeah, exactly. For finish
Tom
out
Holland and Tobey Maguire.
Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire are. Oh wait, hold on. Sorry. We have to put a retraction real quick.
Redacted.
Sorry, we mispronounced Zendaya. Sorry. Tom Holland and Zendaya. Sorry.
Right.
Sorry. Are dating, it looks like. There is a couple of images of them. Looks like they were hanging out, got into a car, and they were a little kissing going on.
They're making out.
They're
necking.
I took her out. It was a Friday night. I walk alone.
And then they probably ordered a pizza and went home and Netflix and chilled.
Out. Yeah. What do you think they Netflix and chill to? Like,
probably like the Anthony Bourdain documentary.
Okay. I was gonna say, they don't put on Spider-Man, do they? Like,
no.
It'd be funny if they put on like.
That would be really funny if they did.
Well, if they put on like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And that's just cartoons. Yeah, that's just on in the background while they're just making out. Like,
yeah,
like they're not watching it. But
no way
yeah.
They are.
Yeah, so let the Moderately Interesting Podcast would like to extend a formal congratulations, Tom and Zendaya. Congratulations. You are now the second Spider-Man couple to emerge from the Spider-Man film series.
Which is Tobey Maguire and James Franco.
Yes. I mean, yeah, I totally forgot about that. So that means you're the third couple.
Right.
With Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone.
Right.
That's like the one good thing about, I mean, I think there's a couple of good things about the Amazing Spider-Man series, but their chemistry, Andrew and Emma's, was very good.
Yeah, I really liked that.
Yeah, they had great chemistry. And for our last little bit of Marvel news, Hugh Jackman possibly teasing a return as Wolverine. The Aussie actor, posted a picture on Instagram with the claws coming out. Also with a picture of him standing next to Kevin Feige.
Now, granted, it is a Boss Logic photo.
Okay.
He's a fan artist.
Gotcha. Well, I definitely didn't know that because.
But still, Hugh Jackman posted it.
Okay. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Or reposted it, yeah.
So what do you think? Hugh Jackman's coming back? Yes. You think yes? You think no?
I want to say yes,
I want to believe.
but I don't think we're gonna get Hugh Jackman.
It would be so good to get him back, but I mean, yeah, I think the ending that we got is just too good to like
Yeah.
not like to ruin that. So yeah, I want to I want to say yes. My heart says yes, but my brain says no.
Yeah. My mind's telling me no.
My mind's telling, but
My
my body.
body. Yeah.
Anyways,
So, Hugh Jackman, we'd love to have you back.
we would love to have you back, Hugh. We'd love
That's
to
one of
have
those
you
doors that's always going to be open.
always gonna be open, Hugh, even when you're 99 years old.
They could kill him off like 400 times, and
Yeah.
they would still be like, "Hey,
You want to come back?
wanna
You
come
wanna make
back?
another? You want to make another $30 million?
we'll figure out how to revive you
Yeah.
again." Yeah. Yeah. He is Wolverine.
Real quick, I just want to do our sponsor segment. The Vitally Interesting Podcast is brought to you by Geico. Geico, 15% or more could save you. No, I did it wrong. Damn it. Sorry, Geico. Sorry. No, we just got fired from Geico. Okay. Never mind. No sponsor segment. We're continuing.
This
Moving on.
this episode of the Moderately Interesting Podcast is brought to you by Volkswagen,
Volkswagen.
where the Germans have never been the bad guys.
Yeah, Volkswagen. Where we all know that it's pronounced Volkswagen.
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 Where we have in the middle console a place for your beer cheese to dip your pretzels in.
Nice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Volkswagen. When you want to have a nice piece of German engineering, but you can't afford a BMW.
Mm-hmm.
Volkswagen.
Volkswagen.
All right. We're gonna wrap it up real soon now.
Mm-hmm.
We want to talk about how long have we been talking for?
I don't know.
Feels like
There's
a long
not
time.
a timer on here.
There's not a timer on here.
But let's talk about Visions real quick, and then we'll.
Our new Star Wars anime is finally coming out.
Yeah.
We got the first trailer. I'm super excited for it. It looks freaking awesome. Star Wars Visions.
Yeah, it looks cool. Is this a series?
It is a series. It's an anthology series, though.
Is it canon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good to know because, I mean, it might not be.
Yeah, it's going to be an anthology series. They've gotten a bunch of different Japanese anime studios to work on it, and they're all kind of getting their own creative freedom to do what they want to do.
That's awesome.
And from the scenes that we have seen so far, they look outstanding.
Right. Absolutely outstanding.
They look, yeah. I am super excited for this.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, not a whole lot more to say other than to keep your eyes peeled because that's gonna be coming to Disney Plus this September.
Oh, sweet. I was wondering when that was coming because they didn't really give you anything story-wise. It was all just like the animation and
it's just all about the animation and the inspiration.
Yeah.
It
looks cool.
Looks real cool.
Be fresh.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Loki.
Let's talk about Loki.
That was a good episode.
It was a real good episode. Yeah, I definitely think step up from the last episode.
Yeah.
Which
I will say something really quickly.
Yeah.
I've been following like IGN and a couple other media people or companies, and they've I felt dramatically different on pretty much all the Loki episodes and like some other things that they've reviewed. And this one they gave it like a 4. And I was like, oh, dang. Because I saw it before I watched the show. I saw the review. I didn't see any spoilers or anything.
Yeah.
But I went into this and I'm like, I give this one like an 8 or a 9.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's weird that they would. I don't like IGN for a whole bunch of different reasons. I think as game journalists goes, I think they're pretty awful.
Yeah.
And I think with their movie slash TV reviews, I don't think they know their head from their butts.
Nope.
But yeah, I think a four is like, I think a four would be like the season finale of like Game of Thrones. It's like the series finale of Game of Thrones. Like
Yeah,
that was like
I'm looking back right now. They gave it a 5.
yeah. You see, saying that's a five is like
Yeah.
stupid. Yeah,
I, anything below 7 for that episode, I
yeah.
can see why someone might say 7. But I'm going to read their
Okay, go
thing
for
really
it.
fast. Loki's 4th entry jogs in place. The story grinds to a
Jogs in
halt so it
place.
can retread and speed through character beats, and the plot, ironically, begins to feel as deterministic as the timekeepers, leaving little room for tension or possibility. That is the complete opposite of what I thought.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like they're just trying to use big words. I don't feel like
Yeah.
they even watched it.
Yeah. I mean, like, we got like some like solid development from Morbius on that, where Morbius is actually like, all right, dude, I believe you now. Like, against all of my judgment and like my brain is telling me not to trust you. Like, yeah, I am going to trust you.
Right.
Like that's huge. And then Loki gets, or and then Morbius gets deleted,
Yeah.
which was huge. And then obviously, Loki himself, spoiler alert, 3, 2, 1, gets deleted.
Mm-hmm.
All insane stuff going on. And then, I mean, yeah, it leaves us with a huge question of Loki actually waking up. And there's a bunch of other Lokis there.
Right.
Um,
I loved everything about this episode. From the beginning, they showed Sylvie's like past and how they brought her in as a child.
uh-huh. Yeah.
Like that right there, I was like, whoa, what did she do? She's sitting there playing with her toys, you know?
Yeah.
And then you move forward and you get a slight reveal of the timekeepers at the very beginning, which was really creepy. The music and the red
Yeah.
eyes and everything, but you just get a very small glimpse. And then, I mean, you could argue that it was kind of slow in the middle, but I mean, it was all just kind of revealing and showing like that the TVA agents are kind of
Mhm.
figuring out that they're
Yeah.
variants.
I mean, even the other TVA agent is figuring out that she's a variant too. Like a lot happened in that episode.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name now, but like the main like TVA, agent.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Like she is even like, oh yeah, like I'm like this doesn't make sense anymore.
Right.
And then we found out about did we find out about the timekeepers in this one that they're fake? Is that this one or the last
Yeah,
one?
that was this one.
Okay, yeah. Like so much happened in this episode. Like,
Yeah, because we got like a very slight glimpse of them at the very beginning, and then at
right.
the end, they bring Sylvie and Loki to the
yeah.
timekeepers, and they have a little conversation.
Yeah, and then Sylvie like decapitates one, and it's like, oh, like that's just a robot.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand. I mean, if you don't like Marvel movies and Marvel shows, then sure, you're not gonna like that.
Yeah.
But like if you're a fan of that, I find it hard to be like, oh yeah, that's just a 5.
Right. Yeah, and I wanted to bring that up because I thought it was ridiculous, and I thought we could kind of play off of that a little bit, just because IGN is stupid.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep following them because I'm gonna become an IGN critic.
Okay. There you go.
I am that's my job now on this podcast. I'm the IGN critic. Critiquer.
Okay. I like it. I think that's gonna be a new thing, a new segment for you now. Is maybe once a week or so, you give us a criticism of IGN.
A poorly reviewed something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll do that. But yeah, overall, I would say I would give this episode a 9 because this is the most excited I've been for a new episode of Loki.
Yeah, I'm super excited to get it. Get the new episode real soon.
Yeah. There's a lot that happened in that episode that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Everything that I like about TV shows is something like is what they did with that.
Yeah. So okay. So let's spend the last few minutes talking about what happened. So clearly Loki's not destroyed or deleted or whatever.
Hmm.
Where do you think he is? Where did he go? What's going on? Because I don't know.
I have no
Uh,
idea. And I wonder too, like, does the same thing happen to all of the variants
Yeah.
or just Loki because he's half
So
god?
yeah,
Or
I'm
like,
kind of wondering, because Morbius said like in episode 1 or episode 2 that they've dealt with a lot of Lokis before,
uh,
and that like this is like Loki is like the most common variant that they find
right.
essentially. So I wonder if like the holy timeline, or was it the sacred
Sacred
timeline?
timeline, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if like again that's all BS. It's not true.
Uh-huh.
And if they just take all of these variants and put them in one timeline together,
Right.
and that's for Loki. So there is like just a timeline full of like, like a dozen Lokis or whatever, like 50 Lokis.
Hmm.
And there is like another timeline that's just full of a bunch of Mobiuses, and there's a bunch of timelines filled with whatever.
Right.
Um
So with that, I'm like, does everyone kind of go to the same spot? Or does like all the Mobiuses, do they go
yeah,
to their own
I
spot?
mean my theory right now is just, yeah, they go to their own spot.
Okay.
Like, and like since there are infinite timelines, there is infinite places for them to put these other variants.
Right. And we know that there has to be, I mean, there's got to be something to do with time. The time part of this show is real
Right.
as far as the
Yeah, for sure.
time,
Yeah, for sure. They're
the
definitely going
different
back in time.
timelines.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
definitely going back in time. There's definitely timelines. There's definitely,
Hmm.
yeah, like all of that stuff is true and real.
So my question
Uh,
is, who's controlling the timekeepers?
yeah, I guess that's what to figure
that's
out.
the
Yeah,
big
that's the big
reveal.
question. That's the big reveal, is like who is actually behind all of this.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll figure that out on the next episode.
Yeah.
But what did you guys think of Loki? Let us know.
Hmm.
I can't wait to figure out and see this next episode.
Yeah. Same. I'm
Um,
very intrigued by it.
but we are right now, unfortunately, out of time
We are.
because
We'll
we're not
talk
time
about it
travelers.
next time.
Yeah, we're not time travelers, so we are out of time.
Mhm.
But
Hey, we get episode 5 tomorrow.
yeah, we do
Yes.
very soon.
Cool.
But you have been listening to Last Week Today from the Moderately Interesting Podcast. I've been your host, Aaron.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey, Ron, that's me.
And I'm Mitch.
And thank you guys for listening. Real quick, make sure to like, subscribe, share it, do all that stuff. Drop a
Mhm.
review if you haven't already.
Mhm.
Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. We have a poll going on Instagram.
Forward us emails
Yep.
from your work
From your
computer.
work. Yeah. Play us on your work computer so your work friends can hear about
Mhm.
us.
Yep.
Tell your cousin about us. Tell your aunt and uncle.
Hmm.
Don't tell your cousin Johnny. Nobody likes him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do
tell
that.
him. Don't do that. We would prefer not.
Print
him to
out
listen.
flyers.
Yeah.
Put them on the telephone poles
Yeah,
of our
tell-
podcast.
Tell Elon Musk to be
Iron Man.
Iron Man. I mean, Mitch has been dropping the ball, but I'm still waving the flag, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah. Oh, I'm still thinking about it every night.
I know, but you gotta express it, my man.
I know.
This is your battle. This is your battle.
All right.
All right.
PSA. Elon Musk, quit all this, back and forth with shooting your rockets off into space. Like all that technology that you're using to make rockets so that you can beat the Russians. It's not who's trying to beat. But I know where you could put all that effort into something more important. And that's becoming Iron Man.
Become Iron Man.
Yeah. Shut down Tesla. No one wants your stupid cars.
I think a lot of people actually want those cars.
I want one myself.
Yeah. You don't have to shut down
just for the
Tesla.
Christmas.
You can do it all, man, because you're a
Tesla
fucking
could be a
Iron Man.
facade.
Yeah, just we don't know. I think we're getting off message here, Mitch. We're not asking him to stop everything. We're just asking him to be Iron Man.
I'm just telling him to switch his focus.
Be
Delegate the things. Create more time for you.
Elon, we're not going to tell you how to live your life, but we are going to tell you
How to run your business.
We are going to tell you to be the hero that the world needs you to be, and that's Iron Man.
Right.
Be Iron Man.
And we're going to tell you how to do it on this podcast.
I think Mitch is going to do that. I'm not going to do that. You have.
I'm going to tell you how to do it.
You have your choice, Mitch, or Elon. You can delegate however you see fit, but I'm just asking you to be Iron Man.
Yeah, just do it. Your kid would be proud.
He would be.
All right,
guys. This has been episode 17.
17
Episode 17. Thank you for listening.
of 10,000.
Of 10,000. Have yourselves a very Loki day today. And until then, guys, make sure to tip your lifeguard. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.